So every task we take on has its own set of challenges. We know this. Everything worth doing contains the what ifs. What if it doesn't happen? You might say that to yourself for a role that you've auditioned for. What if I can't find the time? We might think that or say that if you are trying to start up auditions again. What if it doesn't work out? You might say that when trying to look for a new agent. It is built into the actor's DNA to what if just about every career issue. It can really affect us for better or worse. Right now, we are paralyzed with what to do now that the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. It prevents us from even thinking about what ifs. Well, to that I can only say, let's strike back. Let's find ways to keep ourselves ready so when external opportunities present themselves, and they will, we will be ready. Here are some steps to rekindle your acting goals on this episode of Casting Actors Cast.
It's time for another episode of Casting Actors Cast, insights for actors from a casting director. Here he is, your host, Jeffrey Dreisbach.
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Casting Actors Cast. I'm casting partner Jeffrey Dreisbach with the McCorkle Group in New York. How are you? Hope you're good. I'm looking forward to sharing with you a little bit of thought about the post-actors strike issues that you might be experiencing. One is this energy about trying to get things started up again, and then, of course, not really quite knowing where or how to start. So we're going to tackle this subject, hopefully give you some insight and some information that you're going to find helpful. But first, this is that moment of the conversation where I get to say thank you so much for tuning in to our podcast, our podios, podcast videos, because you can find us also on YouTube. This is Casting Actors Cast. I invite you to go to check out the website, Casting Actors Cast, alloneword.com. There you're going to find some additional information. Filling out that form right on the landing page that says dive into the talent pool, that's going to open up some freebies for you. One is a book on doing voiceover work. It's absolutely free. It's 100 pages. It's a PDF, very easy to download. You're going to find that really useful, I think. The other is a video that you can watch immediately. It's a private, exclusive video only for those of you who give me your name and email address. By the way, you know I've said this before. If you're a regular listener, I don't do anything with that information. I might send out an email every once in a while if I think that there's a really good reason to do so. But I don't spam you. I don't sort of take up your time with stuff that you won't find useful. I only try to reach out if I find it to be kind of a cool thing that I would like you to be interested in. And so, yes, also, I just wanted to say thank you very much for all of this. It's amazing how our podcast, our podios have grown exponentially, and I am just so completely satisfied with all of the responses that I have been getting. Also on the website, by the way, are past episodes, but you can also leave me a question. Maybe there's an upcoming episode you'd like me to address. I've been receiving some emails from folks who really have some questions they want answered, and I'm gearing up to putting that episode together fairly shortly. So please do look for that. Also, I sort of teased in our last podcast, I sort of teased that I was working with this organization, working with these creative partners on putting together a course. And I'm happy to say that the beginning of next month, we are going to be doing a large announcement about you checking out this course material called The Art of the Audition. It's a really cool course that I've put together. They're helping to produce and promote it, and I couldn't be more excited. I'll give you that information just as soon as I have it, but you might be interested in kind of upping the game in terms of your auditions, and this course will be made available to you as soon as I get it together and finish up all the little pesky details. But it's really kind of exciting. The Art of the Audition. by yours truly. I think you'll find it a really interesting course that you can take, providing a lot of really insightful information, something that you're not going to get in these podcasts, by the way, but really important information that's going to up your audition game. So thank you for letting me share that. And finally, my shout out to my good friends at Actors Connection, actorsconnection.com/New York. All kinds of really cool stuff happening there. I suggest that you kind of check them out right now. All right, let's move along now and get back into the subject about what I call Strike Back. That's the name and the title of this podcast. And that really is about how to get the ball rolling again now that we're in a post-SAG-AFTRA strike scenario. And it's really important, I think, that you try to present yourself and present your own psyche with a relaunch strategy. For example, if you decide that you're going to relaunch your career strategy by writing down new goals, you're going to be so much further ahead. Here's why. Because there's something really helpful when you write stuff down. If you haven't figured that out already, I'm so glad you just heard that. We get it out of our heads and out into the universe. Now, I'm not trying to get woo-woo on you here, but I am trying to say that when we say, okay, I'm going to do a relaunch, I'm going to do a makeover, I'm going to do fill in the blank, this action renews our career commitment. And when we do that, we feel a boost of energy, and also our creative juices start flowing once again. So just make the decision that you're going to relaunch your career post-strike, and you will find that to be, I think, really valuable. Here's another one. Understand what you have control over and what you don't. I can't tell you how many times I seem to put energy into something I cannot change. It's so true. I worry about stuff that it doesn't serve any purpose to worry about. But I can change the way I look about my plan. I can change the way I think about my plan, but cannot control the outcome of that plan. So this is crazy important. It's a crazy important step to getting back to work. Moving on from there, you want to take advantage of the return to work energy that is out there right now and really make a decision to make new connections. Networking, I know that dreaded word, but now is the time as everyone is trying to gear up and get themselves into this new headspace as far as work is concerned. Move forward with networking strategies and communications within the industry. Just because folks are getting back to work doesn't mean you are less useful to those same folks. I've heard this many, many times from young people, from professionals that say, you know what, I just don't want to bother them right now because there's just so much going on. And it's like, hello, this is the reason. First of all, you're not bothering anybody if you're a professional and you approach it in a professional way. But more importantly, now is the time to jump into the fray, so to speak, because you might be the solution to a situation. All right, so you're going to be useful to those folks that are so busy right now. If you haven't made contact with your agent recently, pick up the damn phone. It's time to make those kinds of connections. It's time to put yourself out there. It's been a long slog that we've had to deal with, and the strike has been over for a little while now. I know that. But I've had this experience of seeing people be really hesitant about getting started again. So that leads me to my next point, which is be really leery of taking a wait-and-see approach. We are often way too sensitive to the needs of others. I don't want to bother them right now. They're too busy getting back. Well, if this sounds familiar, I want you to rethink it. You are equally entitled to being in consideration as anyone. All right. Somebody write that down because that was really good. That was really helpful, if you can remember that. Moving along those same lines, though, I just want to encourage you to think about trying something new. Think about a new class. Think about picking up that hobby again or another skill set. This is just a wonderful way to get the reset headspace after this strike. Finding something that can get your creative self into a healthy place is really a blessing. Now, the truth is everyone is exhausted because of the emotional toll the strike has played on all of us. It's also up to us to effectuate the change you need. Hey, right? Effectuate. That's a good word. Something to think about. Let's move on from there. I think it's really time that you should be, maybe could be in consideration to find a mentor or be a mentor. I find, honest to God, the greatest satisfaction when I can impart some advice that really changes a person's perspective and then has a successful outcome. You know what? Helping others or allowing others to help you and support you, boy, that's a gift. And I have never seen a successful career happen for an actor without a support network. This right now is an amazing time to connect with someone who can help you or whom you can help. There's something really noble about that, and I don't want to get too schmaltzy or weird about this here, but I have seen so much good come out of the outreach that you give to others or allowing others to give you, that it just makes the community that much richer for the experience. So moving away from all of these roadblocks that we've put in front of ourselves, especially because the strike has manifested so many different emotional places. This is the time to restart, I think. This is the time to get things going again. Spring is just around the corner. So all of those metaphors about renewal, about jumping in, this is still, in my view, an excellent time to be an actor. There are all kinds of amazing projects that we are working on personally and that I know other casting directors are working on right now. And so approach it on a professional level and really do some investigative research. Really figure out what's going on out there and how can I be a part. It's a healthy approach that will have dividends should you make the commitment to do it. All right, let's move on. Read new scripts. Okay, so this is a simple, practical tip which will strengthen your commitment to the career plan. There are tons of new scripted material that have been written during the strike. I am sure many of the new scripts being written will reflect what we've been through, either literally or metaphorically. Why not be at the beginning of this transformation by reading and seeing how you fit into this new paradigm? Preparing yourself is a great confidence builder. Trust the time you put into self will not be wasted time. Please remember, everything you undertake or plan is never wasted. Every personal interaction can contribute in some way to your acting vocabulary and personal experience. Making the most of your post-strike reset will invariably contribute to realizing your career goals, for sure. Like I mentioned, our office is back to work full force. Several feature films are now ready to begin casting. Many of our theaters are gearing up to put on larger scale productions. Now listen, this is truly a gift for us. We are excited at the prospects for actors as well. The scripted material we are working with is the best work I've read in a very long time. We, of course, were very concerned when the strike was first announced. Our understanding of the challenges and obstacles facing actors became our issues as well. Casting directors have an obligation and commitment to knowing the talent pool and to find the right talent for the vision of the project. And when that process is hampered, like it was during the strike, or when there is inequity amongst our ranks, everyone is adversely affected. Now, we've learned that positivity and focused energy will always win. Let me just say that the energy you put into the universe is reflected back to you in the form of choices, decisions, and consequences. When you can objectively view your situation and surround it with positive what-ifs, or are setting a pattern of success in your acting or acting career, the creative mind will only become receptive to possibilities when you are in the right place to receive them. That's what strike back means. Not walking back, but getting back into it with full knowledge and awareness that everything is temporary and change is inevitable. There is no reason to remain in our current state because it will change, of course. And it will change course when and if we change directions. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm Jeffrey Dreisbach. You've been listening and hopefully watching to Casting Actors Cast.
Thank you for joining Casting Actors Cast. I'm Megan Grace Martinez.